Hey, everybody. Glad you're here with me again tonight. Thank you, Connie. Connie has already set her chat to all panelists and attendees and said hello and where she's from. That is awesome. Hey, Kathy from Michigan. Glad y'all are here. So as you pop in, if we can do that little housekeeping, because guess what? We're going to be typing in more things tonight. Tonight is more interactive. I ask a lot of questions tonight. And while you guys are setting your chat, hey, Michelle from Michigan, I'm going to go get a cup of water. I need a water. I forgot to bring it in here. It was just in my purse. Okay. Scarlett from Somerville, Alabama, and Shannon from Illinois, and Marge from North Carolina. Awesome. Awesome. Y'all do me a favor, look at your name next to your name. And if it says all panelists, I want you to click where it says chat and then click where it says all panelists and choose all panelists and attendees. That way everybody can see what you're typing because it's going to help tonight. We need to make sure all of our chats are set to all panelists and attendees. Tammy Montgomery from Martinsville, Indiana. Kim from Jefferson. Hey, Maria. And Shannon, I said, okay. Jennifer from Cedartown. I missed last night, but I watched it on Facebook today to catch up. Awesome. Awesome. That's great. And you can make sure that now that you will do tonight's too, you can mark both of those off as done in lap 2. And I'll show y'all where that is in a little bit. I'm glad that you're here with me tonight. I do want to make sure that we all understand that when you are getting started, you're brand new, we've got to put blinders on and focus solely on fast track. There can be a lot of distractions that would come your way and distractions that look fun. They look fun. Like Travis has got a challenge orientation tonight that he's going to start next week. And I really just want you to focus on fast track. Now, if you want to see if you can attempt that too next week, you can watch that orientation, but don't get distracted by it. Blinders, fast track only. Because a lot of other cool and fun things happen in Shibboleth, but if you haven't gotten the lifestyle basics down, it's not going to help you to just randomly start somewhere else, okay? I'm gonna get rid of my gum. Sorry. I don't usually chew gum, but I am a little hungry. And so that is one of my strategies that I use. I will chew some gum. Let's see. Michelle has been out of town and just got back and haven't started my journal yet. That's okay. You can get started on that tomorrow, or you can go back and do it today, especially if you've had a perfect day today. Okay, so it is 8:04, and I usually give until 8:03 to get started. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you. And again, just like last night, please don't think that you need to take screenshots or anything like that. You will have access to this. In fact, it's in lap 2. It's already in lap 2. Let me pop over there and just show you where it is already. And on Facebook, let's see if anybody is on Facebook with us. Already in lap 2. Let me turn that down. And Pat Johnson is over on Facebook with us. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to click on dashboard. And then I'm going to click on fast track. But if you're new, your fast track should pop up first when you click on dashboard. And lap 2. Yep, right there. See this very bottom link? That's that link right here that I'm using tonight. It's right there. So you'll be able to access it again. And this was last night's webinar, and this will be tonight's webinar. So they're already going to be there. So if you've already participated, you can check those things off, okay? And remember, in lap 1, there's some videos there that I want you to watch, and then there's a test. Passing this test opens up your website to the big library and all of that. so that you can do the tasks that are here and the tasks that are here. But don't stop when you've earned your first badge. Don't stop there. You really need to complete every step in every lap of Fast Track so that you completely have a good foundation, okay? And never get concerned, because this video right here is me showing you how to do these things, okay? So I try not to leave anything to chance. So I just wanted to show you where you can mark that off as watched, okay? All right. So what I'm going to do tonight is Maria, you can go over to lap 2 before you finish lap 1 and mark those as done. Yes, you can. The reason that I'll kind of want you to go in order, like lap 1, lap 2, and so forth, is they kind of build on each other. But yes, you can pop over into lap 2 and you can mark those as complete. Yes. Then you can go back and continue working on lap 1. Awesome. And Michelle read 16 pages of the handbook today. That's awesome. That handbook is 66 pages. You can print it if you want to, or you can just read it on your computer or your phone. Great job, Michelle. I love that. You can print it, Maria. That's totally fine. It's 66 pages. I want you to be aware that it's that long, but you can just print it. I would print all of those things, put them in a 3-ring binder, and use them to my benefit. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight is really about us talking about what foods are in these categories, because as a person learning this new lifestyle, you need to familiarize yourself with the types of foods that go in the categories. So if you're going to take notes tonight, which I hope that you do, when we go over category 1, anything that you see that you like in category 1, write it down, because it's going to help you. It's going to help you know the foods you like. If you don't like the food, don't write it down. It's that simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the list as we come to it. Keep in mind, this list is very small, but those other documents that are in lap 1, they have some more foods. And then the new member food library has even more foods. And then once you're through all of that and the big food library opens up, then you just got like thousands of foods to choose from. So this is just a short list to start to familiarize ourselves. And then I'm going to go over the cooking oils and fats one time. I'm going to go over the condiments one time, and then that'll kind of speed up what we're doing as we go through this. I'm going to talk about cooking oils and fats first. So for a perfect day, we need to use one of these options: 100% MCT oil, coconut oil, ghee butter, or 0-calorie cooking spray. So MCT stands for medium chain triglycerides. Medium chain triglycerides are a shorter fat lipid, and they don't take as long to burn up. They have almost no propensity to be stored on the body as fat. Now, this is in comparison to olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, and most other oils out there that aren't listed here. Those are LCTs, long chain triglycerides. They are a fatter fat lipid. They're a longer fat lipid, and they're more dense. They take longer to break down. In fact, they take so long to break down, they get often stored. They have a great propensity to be stored on the body as fat. I don't know about you, but I'm all about the one that has the less propensity to be stored as fat. We want to make sure that the MCT oil that we use is 100% MCT oil. See, coconut oil is our second recommended oil. It's 66% MCTs. And a lot of times a bottle will say MCT oil on it. But when you flip it around and you look at the ingredient list, it says MCTs from coconut oil. Well, that doesn't mean that it's 100% of the MCTs pulled out. It means that it also has some LCTs in it too. So 100% MCT would be the best of the best. And this is what makes your a meal that like a category 1 and a category 1 and 2. That's what it would make. The addition of that would make it the fastest fat burning combination. Ghee butter, which is spelled Ghee butter. It's butter. It's just been clarified. So all the milk solids have been pulled out of that, and it's just the fat left. It's 40 to 45% MCTs. I like to use this when it's purposeful for me to have a butter flavor. So that's how I use that. And then obviously we can use PAM or 0-calorie cooking spray with anything. So how I do it is I use 0-calorie cooking spray with my protein plus fats, and I use MCT oil with my lean proteins. So that's how I have that set up in my mind. Okay, condiments. It's really important to go over condiments. There are a lot of things that can be used as condiments, and we don't have them all listed in the food library because that would really fill up the food library with lots and lots and lots of things. So we give you a rule about condiments. Although we have lots of condiments in the food library, it's just that if you're walking through the aisle of the grocery store and you don't want to pull out the app and see if it's in there, because just knowing the rule and applying it would save you some time, then we'll teach you the rule. We call it the 5, 2, and few rule. This is a sprinkling, okay? 5, 2, and few. So what you're going to do is you are going to flip over a jar or a bottle of something, a packet of something. You're going to look at 2 bits of information. You're going to look at the sugar content per serving, and you're going to look at the fat content per serving. You want it to have 5 grams of sugar or less per serving and 2 grams of fat or less per serving. So if you look at the sugar content and it's more than 5 grams of sugar, it's out. You don't even need to look at the fat content. You can if you were curious, but it doesn't qualify. So you don't even need to look at that. Or if you happen to look at the fat content first and it's got more than 2 grams, then you don't even need to look at the sugar content. It's out. So it's got to meet those 2 bits of information. If you're wondering how you're going to remember that, remember that the word sugar has 5 letters in it. So you're looking for 5 grams of sugar or less and 2 grams of fat or less, and you don't want to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal. And when I say on a meal, I mean a combined meal. The condiments are used to make some of these foods taste like they should, or like you can take chicken breast and you can turn it into Italian, Mexican, barbecue, so sometimes condiments help us have a meal taste like it does. But we don't add condiments to meal replacements. A meal replacement already has everything that you need in it. We don't need condiments on a meal replacement. And the condiments, what was I going to say? Anyway, you can use, oh, I know what I was going to say. You can use up to 50 calories per meal if you wanted to, if it was a combined meal. That means you could have a condiment with a combined meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's like 150 calories a day in condiments. So what I've decided to do is just be really choosy with my condiments. If I need it, I use it. If I don't need it, I don't. What I've learned is I do not need to slap a piece of cheese on everything that I eat, kind of like I had the habit before. So I'm kind of choosy with my condiments because over a course of a year, even having just the amount of approved condiments at every single meal is 54,000 calories in a year. And if we divide 3,500 into that, I think that's 15, like 15 pounds. That'd be 15 pounds if we didn't burn them off in just condiments. But if you're living the lifestyle and doing the right thing, it would burn off. But think about that. Think about how many condiments we've overused the years before we found Chipotle, and how many more pounds that was just in condiments. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to give you an application. I like to buy Classico traditional pizza sauce. I normally buy it at Kroger, but I was going into Publix for a different item that I needed to get, but I was aware that I needed pizza sauce, so I just went back to the pizza sauce area. I was going to grab Classico off the shelf. Boom, I was going to be gone. They didn't have it. They had 6 other pizza sauces. So instead of standing there and pulling out my mobile friendly website and going to the website, I just decided to apply the rule. There were 6 pizza sauces. So I turned every one of them around where I could see the nutrition label. I started scanning the sugar content. If it had more than 5 grams of sugar, I turned it around. It's out of the running. And then I looked at the fat content on the ones that were approved. And if it didn't work, I turned them around. Out of 6 pizza sauces on the shelf, 2 worked, and I picked one of them. Now that when I come home and I use that pizza sauce, I'm not going to use more than 50 calories of pizza sauce if that was my only condiment. But let's say that I'm using multiple condiments. You don't want multiple condiments to go over 50. So you can use multiple condiments. You're just going to keep them under 50 calories. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are making yourself a hamburger patty. Because see over here in category 1, the last item in category 1 is a 96% lean ground meat. That meat could be beef, it could be chicken, it could be turkey. Let's just say hamburger patty. You would make yourself a hamburger patty and you like a slice of cheese on it. Maybe you choose to use the Borden fat-free. I like Borden, so that's why I use it as an example. The Borden fat-free single. It's 30 calories. It's approved as a condiment. But you like mustard. Well, most mustard is 0 calories, so you can put a little bit of that on there. Let's say that you want a slice of onion. Well, if you use a thin slice of onion, no bigger than your pinky, then you could use that as part of your condiments too. It's about 4 calories. I looked it up on Google. And then if you wanted to have like a little thin slice of tomato, that's not many calories either. I haven't looked that one up yet, but it's not much. And then you might have like 10 calories or more that you could use ketchup. And that would be like usually a serving of ketchup, reduced sugar ketchup. You could have all of that as condiments and you would still not be over 50 calories. And you would have really dressed up that hamburger patty in a nice way. So just keep in mind, you want everything that you're using as a condiment to meet the 2 bits of information, the 5 grams of sugar or less in sugar, 2 grams of fat or less in the fat, and you don't want to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal. But it can be more than one condiment, just not over 50 calories total. And I hope that makes sense. Y'all give me some thumbs up if that makes sense. Let's see. I'm here, Facebook too, if y'all have anything to say. Oh, I see people now. Okay. Annie. Hey, Annie. And Erica. Awesome. Hey, Erica. Cool. Okay, I see some of y'all speaking. Feel free. Now that I have that set up right, I can see my Facebook too. Okay, good. I'm getting thumbs up. Awesome. I'm glad. Awesome, Michelle. Thank you. So let me read over just some examples real quick. Any 0 calorie condiment works fine. And that's kind of like where you dressings and stuff. It's easy to use dressings for salads that are 0 calorie. That's kind of fun. 15 calorie or less spices and seasonings. That's often those packets, maybe the McCormick's Thick and Zesty or little brown gravy packet or something like that. Salt and pepper. If you're a coffee drinker, black is approved fine. It's a freebie. You never want it to take the place of your water though, because remember, you want to get in at least 64 ounces of water, but shooting for that gallon each day. But black coffee is a freebie. But if you do want creamer in your coffee, it needs to be an approved creamer and you want to use 15 calories or less. Salsa, salsa, I don't know what salsa is. Reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo, and those are just some examples. That's funny, Robin. Couldn't find your thumb. That's cute. I like it. I like it, Robin. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to read through some things that are category 1 lean proteins. This is a great category and you really want to like some lean proteins. If you don't see anything here that you like, just know that the list is much, much bigger. So you can do 2 to 8 ounces if you are a measurer. I've never measured it. This is my lean protein measuring tool. Boom. If it goes under there, I eat it. Okay, but if you are a measurer and you'd like that and you need that, then use it. 2 to 8 ounces. Egg whites, fish, all fish is here. Chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National, 97% lean beef frank, and 96% lean ground meat. So I'm going to talk about a few of these things. This meat here, that could be beef, it can be chicken, it can be turkey. It's that ground meat. And then we've got our low fat and our fat free cottage cheese here, but actually full fat cottage cheese is also approved. It's just over in the protein plus fat category. The reason that this says boar's head right here is because we know boar's head is a very lean meat and it would help keep you safe in the beginning, but there's a lot of deli meat that's approved. Let me pop back down here to this Greek plain yogurt. Yogurt can be very deceptive. There's a lot of yogurt that has been eaten over the years of yogurt that's been fortified with sugar. Okay, and that's a wrong word, fortified, but it's had sugar added to it. So you just be careful that it's an approved yogurt. Just put in yogurt and look it up and to find approved ones. And whether or not they are a category 1 or maybe category 4, I don't know. Just look them up first. Pork tenderloin. Also, this isn't here, but a lot of people will use Canadian bacon. So Canadian bacon is a lean protein, but most of your pork categories or pork items are going to be in your protein plus fat. But pork tenderloin is here. Now, because we often use a category 1 and a category 2 to keep us safe and controlling insulin when we eat a category 3 energy carb, if you see visible fat on your pork tenderloin before you cook it, please trim that off because we don't want that fat to get captured or anything. Okay, so just trim that off. But otherwise, pork tenderloin is a lean protein. So now last night I said that you can have 5 of the 7 categories all by themselves. You don't even have to combine them at all. What were those 5? And I'd like for you to type that in. What are those 5 categories? Awesome, Maria. Awesome, Kim. Fabulous. Okay. Awesome, Kathy. Yep. One, I think you just missed one, Jennifer. You can add that other one in. That looks good. You might have even thought that you typed it in. I missed it with your finger. Shannon, awesome. Awesome. Good. Okay. So that's great. So those are the ones that we can eat by themselves. So what this row right here is saying is that the category 1. Awesome. Susan, that's wonderful. You can watch last night's in the Fast Track Lap number 2. It's already available for you to watch there. Awesome, Michelle. Good. Okay, so category 1, lean protein, can be eaten by itself. You can cook it up in the appropriate oil and doctor it up with the right condiments, and you'll have an excellent fat burning meal. That's pretty simple. Most of the time, we're not going to eat just one thing by itself just because, we like to eat and we like different flavors. But the reason this comes in handy is because if you end up with just egg whites in your fridge because you hadn't been going to the store or something strange, then just eat egg whites, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So you can utilize it purposefully, or this would just be that thing that helps you make a good decision at the moment to keep you in a perfect day. Okay, we have a brand new category, category 7 shellfish. Category 7 shellfish is really just a what? Awesome, Michelle, Kathy, Shannon, awesome, Kim, thank you, awesome, fabulous, Maria, Jennifer, good. Yes, category 7 shellfish is really just a lean protein. It just got pulled off. Thank you, Scarlett. It just got pulled off because some people don't eat shellfish due to medical reasons and biblical reasons. So it just got pulled off. So all fish is a lean protein, just category 1. But if you eat any other critters that live in the water that aren't fish, go here, whether or not they have a shell. Okay, whether or not they have a shell. Good job, Robin. So shellfish, crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams, and again, my my example of something that doesn't have a shell, octopus. It'd be over here. It doesn't have a shell, and it's 2 to 8 ounces again. So you can have shellfish by itself if you choose to, cook it up in the right oil, doctor it up with the right condiments, and have an excellent fat burning meal. Crawfish, yes. Yes. Any other thing that lives in water that's not a fish would be here. Yep. So crawfish included. Okay. So now we have a brand new category. Category 2, fibrous carbs. So they're still carbs, but these are not carbs that elevate your blood sugar. Therefore, an insulin release is not there to deal with. Okay, so a fibrous carb. So you can have a half a cup up to 1 cup. Have I ever measured this? No. This is my fibrous carb hand if I'm just having a fibrous carb. Now, if I have 3 items on my plate, then I might have to back off on my fibrous carbs and just put them there and put my energy carbs there. But this is when I'm just doing a category 1 lean protein and the category 2 fibrous carb, this is my fibrous carb measuring hand. But if you want to have a visual or need some help measuring so that you don't get into portion distortion, like, putting your hands down and trying to pack stuff under it, then a half a cup is really what's best in weight loss mode. You can go up to a cup in maintenance if you want to try that, but half a cup's really best in weight loss mode. Broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles. Okay, so those are all category 2 fibrous carbs. And guess what? We have over 60 approved breads in this category. Imagine a lifestyle that is telling you that a bread can be in the same category as broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra. Oh my goodness, that's a hallelujah moment for most people that we can have bread in there. Yes, Brussels sprouts. Yes, yes, they are there in category 2. And there's a lot more than this. This is a short list. But we don't have the category 2 breads listed here because honestly, less bread is best, okay? And we'll talk about those in the end, but we do have them. You can use them. And the reason that these breads fit into this is because they have enough fiber in them per their calorie amount in order to break down in your body like a green bean would rather than a bread. So that's why they work. And we've just done all the work first. We've done all the work. You don't have to worry about doing the work. You just check the food library. So category 1 is a lean protein combined. See, this is combinations, y'all. Combined with something from category 2, cooked up with the appropriate oil, doctored up with the right condiment, and you have simple food combining. So if you see something right now from category 1 that you would put with category 2, please type that into the chat. Because what I really want to see is that you just see what combining foods are. Because I need everybody to understand that there are 5 components to our daily shield. Okay, our shield, our daily disciplines following the shield. Water. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're eating. That is drinking water for our good. Journaling our food. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're eating. That's behavior modification. Combinations, that has to do with what we are eating. Portions doesn't have anything to do with what we're eating. It has to do with how much we're eating. And timing also does not have to do with what we're eating. It has to do with us giving our body a break to digest food. Okay, because our digestive system is a machine. And if you have a machine that you never give a break to, then your machine is going to break down because that's what happens if you never give a break to a machine that's working so hard. And that's why people have a lot of digestive issues. Imagine, think about all the people that you know, they have digestive problems. They're never giving their body a break from digesting. That's why we spread our meals out. So this combinations is important for me to know that you understand. So let's look at this. Okay, we got Chicken and broccoli, awesome. That is a classic. Chicken breast and broccoli. Now, Tammy, I like the way you added the breast part because the breast part is what makes it a lean protein. And Shannon, I'm sure you meant chicken breast too. But if we've got dark meat chicken or chicken with skin, that's a category 4 protein plus fat. It would still be appropriate with broccoli. We just wouldn't want to eat it with those foods that elevate our blood sugar, which are, and I'll ask that question in a minute. Okay, Scarlett, chicken and salad, awesome. And then Robin Bradley, chicken breast and broccoli. I think we need to take stock in chicken companies and broccoli companies. Michelle, egg whites with spinach, awesome. And then Kim, her dinner tonight was chicken breast and asparagus, awesome. And Susan, chicken and okra. Maria, dinner with salmon and dill pickles, fun. Jennifer, chicken and green beans, awesome. Otelia, I hope I said that right. Chicken with broccoli. And Marge, chicken with squash and 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. So she made that be the fastest fat burning combination with the addition of that. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Otelia, turkey and green beans. Awesome. Those all sound really good. And it's turkey breast. Because again, if it has skin or if it's dark meat, it is a category 4. Okay, looks like y'all are getting that down. That's great. All right, so we've come to a new combination, category 7. So you can pick something from category 7 and you can eat it with category 2 and have a combination. And give me some thumbs up if y'all are seeing some things there. If you eat shellfish, just give some thumbs up that you see something that you would eat together there. It's important to me that you have some things that you like. And if you don't eat shellfish, don't worry about it. You don't have to. But I do know that I consider myself a picky eater. And this lifestyle freed me up and of having to feel like I was not doing the right thing, trying to go down all these avenues that people want you to go down. So, yes, awesome. Kathy loves shrimp. I see lots of thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. We've come to a new category, category 6, superfood. Now, I can't remember whether or not I told you last night what qualifies a food to be a superfood. So I'm just going to tell you now. If I did, you're just hearing it again. If I didn't, write it in your notes, please. A food qualifies to be a superfood if it has all 4 macronutrients in there. So that would be water, because we consider water a macronutrient on planet Shibboleth. That would be your protein, carbs, and fat. So you've got all 4 macronutrients in a superfood. You can eat superfood by itself. We've all typed that in tonight as part of that question earlier. So superfood, this is an example of it being eaten by itself. Category 6, pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans. This is where all of your nut butters are going to be, nuts and seeds. Now, all of these beans here, a cup to 1.5 cups is what you can have if you are eating it by itself. Now, if you are having it in a combination with a lean protein and a fibrous carb, you need to back off of that amount because that amount wouldn't fit like right there. A cup to a cup and a half wouldn't fit right there. All right. But most of your darker colored beans are in this category. So you can have that all by itself. You can doctor it up with the right condiments. Now, there is a category that was kind of over here right before the condiments in all of the other categories. I mean, all of the other combinations that we've gone over. What column was right here that's now missing? The fats. Connie, the 4 macronutrients are water, protein, carbs, fat. Yes, and y'all are right. The oils are missing. So that's because we don't need to add fats to something that's already got fats in it. And superfoods have fats in it. Now, if we're needing to cook something, obviously you can use 0-calorie cooking spray if there's something, but a lot of times you don't really need to cook some of these. But you could use water too, obviously, so we don't need to add oils or fats to something is in there. Edamame is soybean. Yes. I don't know if there's a difference, but I think edamame is soy. I'm assuming it's a soybean. If somebody else knows, they can type that in. But I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, so now we have another combination. This is superfoods with a category 2 fibrous carb. This is where Travis says you get your greens and beans, all right? You got your greens and beans right here. You can do that, and you're going to doctor it up with the right condiments. But remember, the oils are missing here. You've already got fats in the superfood. You don't need to add additional. But you could use water or bouillon, things like that. But you don't need to add additional fats to this. So that's just real simple. Now, let me tell you what is in this combination. Who likes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? That's where this is. Peanut butter right here. And even though it's not listed right here, we're going to go over some in just a second. There are over 60 approved breads and tortillas and lavash bread and pita bread and all kinds of stuff, loaf bread that you can use. So you choose a category 2 bread. So you've got your peanut butter, you got your bread, and then jelly. Jelly is a condiment. You would want to use sugar-free jelly or the Smucker's low sugar jelly. If you don't like sugar-free products, you can get the Good jam that's sweetened with stevia. And that would be a peanut butter and jelly. Good, Wendy. That's awesome. So you can have that. So just find the right jelly. You can use that as a condiment on some toast in the morning with some eggs, which would be great. Appropriate approved toast. Less bread is best though. So if you want to do toast, one slice would really be best. And if you're using the English muffins, those Thomas 100-calorie English muffins, you know what I found? That really fills me up almost too much if I put eggs and a slice of cheese with it. So I save money by cutting that in half, eating it with a knife and a fork like an open-faced sandwich. There's 8 English muffins in there, but it will make 16 meals for me. Because I didn't need a full one. It was making me too full. This is what journaling will do for you too. If you write down how you feel after a meal, it will help you make some additional changes. So I'm going to go back up just a little bit right here. Since we're talking about sandwiches, this is where you find a grilled cheese. If you use a fat-free cheese with an appropriate bread, and then you can use ghee butter, or you can use it's not I can't believe it's not butter spray, which is what I use when I'm making a grilled cheese. You can make a grilled cheese. This would be yummy and approved. All right. And Nikki Kyle has lost 93 pounds eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. She loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We just had to teach her how to switch the peanut butter jelly around. And then the other meals that she was eating, she just edited those and she's lost 93 pounds. Okay, we have a new category. Category 4, protein plus fat. Now look, 2 to 6 ounces right there. Have I ever measured it? Nope. That's my hand right there. But it does come in handy because when I go to a restaurant, I order steak and they say, do you want a 6 ounce or a 9 ounce or a 12 ounce or whatever? They might be, I know now, 6. I don't want to go more than 6. That's my serving. So, but if you're a weigher, a measurer, 2 to 6 ounces. Let me explain to you why the difference from 2 to 8 ounces to 2 to 6 ounces. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories in it, and 1 gram of fat has 9. So there's more calories there, so it's just a little less ounces taken in. Whole eggs, this is where your whole eggs are. All cuts of steak are here. And then your other pork products that are natural pork products like pork ribs, then you got beef ribs, and then turkey spam. We'll talk about that in a second. Pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean, ground meat, and turkey kielbasa as long as no more than 50% of the calories come from fat. So anytime you're looking at a meat, you never want more than 50% of the calories to come from fat. It's too much fat. So this is why the 93% lean up to 95.9% lean is in is approved for a protein plus fat. But if you go lower than 93% lean, it wouldn't be approved for a perfect day. You could still eat that, but it would need to be a holiday. So because when you're doing the ground meat and it's less than 93% lean, they've really taken a whole bunch of fat and just added a little bit of meat to it. So it sounds like it's lean, but it's not. So this is what would be approved for a protein plus fat. Let's talk about that turkey spam, because most of the time when I say turkey spam, people are like, what? You got turkey spam on here? It's not that Travis woke up one morning and said, let me build a program around turkey spam. This program is really built around whole foods, all right? But then we know that people want and desire variety. We also know that everybody's taste buds are different, everybody's budgets are different, and we want this to be a practical, sustainable, and fun lifestyle. So, what we do is we look at food. We do not discriminate against food. If it will work according to what we see as a protein plus fat, then we'll approve it and we'll put it in the food library. Do you know our food library grows because members ask us to, which is great because they find things in their grocery store that we haven't seen yet. They put it in the Shibboleth Fixed It group on Facebook, and then Kim Shibboleth, which is not me, a different lady, she'll look at it and see if it works. And if it works, she adds it to the food library. Okay. So this is how the food library grows. So, so the turkey spam thing is there, but if you don't eat turkey spam, don't eat it. You don't have to. See, regular spam is not approved because it's too fatty. And so if you are we tell you how to combine the foods, but you choose the quality of the food that you purchase. So if you know, like you want to use non-genetically modified foods, you want to do organic foods, you can do that. We even have a day for that. That's called a divine day. A divine day is where you do all of the components of the shield, but the food that you choose is all organic or non-genetically modified. And you even get a little different badge for marking Divine Day. But this week, we're just focused on perfect or holidays. I'm just giving you a little insight into advanced types of days. But if you are a grass-fed, grass-finished type of person and you've got the budget for that, then you can do it. If you've got turkey spam budget, you can do it. If you've got, I need to buy a loaf, a bag of loaf bread and a thing of peanut butter and some jelly, and that's what you do, we can help you lose weight. We can help anybody lose weight. Doesn't matter their budget because it's a very budget friendly lifestyle. Okay. So now last night we talked about there's 3 categories that you do not eat with protein plus fat. What are those? Okay. And there's one more. There's 3 categories that we don't eat with category 4s. The 3s and the 5s for sure on Kathy and Maria. Yep, but there's one more. Yep, yep, Marge added it there. 3s, 5s, and 6s. So 3s are energy carbs. They elevate your blood sugar. And awesome, Michelle. And 5s are fruit. Even though fruit is good for us because it's got antioxidants in there, it's still a natural sugar. And in weight loss mode, for sure, we've got to control that. So we don't eat that with fat because it would bring that insulin release and that captures fat. But if you think about 6, thank you, Jennifer, the 6, so remember, superfood has all 4 macronutrients in it. And one of those is carbs. And it's already got fat in it. So it's kind of doing itself. It's kind of controlling insulin within itself. But because they've got carbs in them, we don't eat that with the category 4. Now, so we can have category 4 by itself. But if we are, and most of the time, we would not be eating category 4 by itself, unless you're just making yourself some scrambled eggs or something like that. But I like to use this example. I go to a lot of luncheons for my job, a lot of luncheons, because I do business development. So you go to a luncheon and they have chafing dish after chafing dish after chafing dish after chafing dish, and you're like, that's going to bring the fat bus. That's going to bring the fat bus. That's going to bring the fat bus. Oh, they got some steak. I'm going to eat the steak. That is a situational eating decision that I've made. Because not every situation is going to be that one. If I'm at home and I'm cooking my category 4 protein plus fat, I'm probably going to put it with a category 2. I'm not typically going to eat it by itself, but it's important to know what you can do, because we've got to know how to eat in all situations so that we can keep our perfect days and have multiple ways to stay perfect. So category 4 protein plus fat with a category 2 fibrous carb, doctored up with the right condiments. You're not going to see the oils here because this has already got fat in it. This is where, remember earlier when I said when I'm cooking a lean protein, I use MCT oil. But if I'm cooking a protein plus fat, I use my 0-calorie cooking spray. All right, going to come down. We got a new category here. Category 3, energy carb. Ding, 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 ding. This must be combined properly. I've got my mind trained to know the energy carbs that I like. And if I want one of those, ding, 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 I must combine it properly. So you can do a quarter of a cup in weight loss mode, up to a half a cup once you get to maintenance. But let's just focus on quarter of a cup. And let me show you this. Quarter of a cup right there. All right. It must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Lean protein, the whole hand there, fibrous carb, energy carb. All right, let me read this list and we'll do the science, because I really want to make sure you understand the science. Understanding the science is so important. And remind me if I forget to tell you the story of a luncheon that I went to. All of your potatoes are here. Oatmeal, steel cut oats. And then there's that weight control oatmeal, which I think it's that Quaker, and it's called fiber and protein now. Long grain brown rice. White rice is not approved for a perfect day. Quinoa, lima beans. Most of your lighter colored beans are here, where most of your darker colored beans are over in the superfood category. Peas, all of your peas are here. Tomato, onion, carrots, whole wheat, and whole grain pasta. Okay, so I have not bought any more whole wheat or whole grain pasta or any pasta from the regular grocery store, like regular pasta that we would think of, since I found Shibboleth 2 years ago, because there's better pastas out there for us to use. And just type in pasta in the food library and it'll bring it up, and you just want to make sure that you look at how that category is listed, because sometimes they're category 1 and 2 by the way that they're made, and sometimes they're a category 1, 2, and 3. And what that means to you when something is multiple categories is that it's got lean protein, fibrous carb, and energy carb properties in it. So you just want to make sure you use it appropriately. Carrots are an energy carb when they're cooked. Okay, so they're more sugary. So if they're cooked carrots, you want to treat them as an energy carb. But let's say that you just wanted to have like a little handful of those raw baby carrots. You can use those as a freebie if needed. You can use those as a freebie if needed. And onion and tomato, people are always surprised that this is an energy carb. Well, it brings an insulin release, so we got to treat it as one. This is how I want you to think about the energy carb. If you are eating enough tomato that is at least a quarter of a cup, you need to consider it an energy carb so that you combine it properly. Same thing with the onion. But remember my example earlier where I said if you have a thin little slice of onion or a thin little slice of tomato, then you can use those as condiment. But if you are using up to a quarter of a cup or either one of those, you want to make sure you've combined it properly. All right, so let's just do a little example here. Let's say that you want some field peas. You like some field peas. I'm going to put your field peas right here. And I can't remember what example I used last night, but You put them here, about a quarter of a cup, okay? And you now know field peas elevate blood sugar. Pancreas secretes insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. You're learning that it's important to control insulin with your meal and what you eat. Therefore, you're going to have a lean protein and a fibrous carb with your field peas. So let's say a 96% lean ground turkey burger. So you got your turkey burger here. You've got, and it doesn't have to be turkey burger, it could be any ground meat. Let's say green beans and field peas. That's a nice little meal. Okay, so what's going to happen is that's going to bring an insulin release, and the protein in the turkey burger and the fiber in the green beans are going to help neutralize the insulin release that came from the field peas. You have used food to neutralize the insulin release that came from the field peas. Also, you didn't overeat field peas at a quarter of a cup of field peas. Now, if you ate like 2 cups of field peas, the protein and the fiber might not be able to help an insulin release that comes from 2 cups of field peas, okay? Because it's going to be just continuing to dose it out. But a quarter of a cup, it'll deal with it. It'll handle it. Now, you'll also notice there are no fats listed here because when you have the insulin release, you do not want it to be eaten with fats. It will capture it. So let's go right back here real quick. Let's talk about this. Let's say this category 4 protein plus fat with field peas. You eat the field peas and you only had it with this, you're going to have the insulin release from the field peas, but the category 4 protein plus fat, protein's going to do a little bit, but it's going to eat the fat. The insulin is going to go and capture it. That's why we call insulin the fat bus, because it is a growth hormone focused on fat storage. So you're going to not have it with a protein plus fat. All right, we have a new category here, category 5, fruit. I'm only going to read the top 4 here because all fruit is in this category, but I read the top 4 because those are the best if you're going to do fruit and weight loss. You do still need to combine it properly, but berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit are really the best. I also like to point out right here, do you see where it says banana, half a banana? How many of you have ever thought the whole banana was the serving? It's really too much. It's really half a banana. That would be a serving. So anyway, fruit. All fruit is in category 5. Remember, it's also called an antioxidant carb. So if you happen to run across that term or the abbreviation AC, that's fruit. If you want to eat fruit, also train your mind to go ding, 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 ding. I must combine this properly. You need to have it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's say that you're going to make yourself a little brown bag lunch one day and you put a small apple in there, and then you take some turkey meat and maybe a category 2 fibrous carb wrap, maybe the Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla. You could even use a condiment with that. Maybe you take some Laughing Cow cheese, the wedge, and lay it in there. Maybe you also take some everything bagel seasoning, sprinkle that on the Laughing Cow cheese, lay some turkey breast in there, and then maybe even some lettuce or some spinach. Wrap that up. You have a nice little wrap that's a category 1 and 2, and you have it with a small apple. That's a nice little lunch. So there's how you can eat that fruit. If you want to have it in the morning, maybe you make an egg white spinach omelet. I've even seen a 96% lean ground beef with an approved category 2 bun and some watermelon. That is still will work. I mean, it's not the best, but it will still work. The reason I say it's not the best is because less bread is always best, and watermelon's very sugary. So, but it's still approved. Okay, it's still approved. And the reason I give that example is, what if you're having a barbecue in your backyard and you want to stay perfect and you buy the right products, you can. Okay, now let's read over some of those breads. Category 2 breads, less is best. You never want more than 100 calories of bread in a meal. So technically, you could have 2 slices of toast in the morning, but if Travis ever looks at your journal to give you some feedback, or if any of the mentors ever look at your journal and give you feedback, they're typically going to say, why don't you cut back to one piece of bread? That's going to be one of the first things they'll say to tweak and help you get the results that you want. But the La Tortilla Factory 50-calorie tortilla, Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla. I've got that bag right here. It looks like this. Have y'all ever seen these? Now, I buy the ones that have the 50 calories because if I were to have two, like let's say I'm making the fat burning chicken enchiladas and I were to have two, then that would make sure I didn't have more than 100 calories. See, those Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortillas have some that are 80 calories, and you'd want to make sure you only had one of those with a meal. So I just buy the 50, keep me safe. Healthy Life Bread. Bran Crisp, it says bread. It's really a cracker, and we sell these in the store. They're really good. Healthy Life hot dog buns, and Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. And that's just a small list. There's plenty more approved. We've got approved sweeteners. Any 0-calorie sweetener works fine. Any. And if you don't like Splenda, then use these others. If you don't mind a little Splenda every once in a while, just use it as needed. But I had to tell a person one day that came to the store that needs to lose weight, but she goes, I don't want to use Splenda. I said, I understand you don't have to use Splenda, but can I explain something to you? The extra weight on your body is hurting you more than the occasional use of Splenda. And she went, oh, you're right. So anyway, but if you don't use it, then don't use it. The skinny syrups, as long as I'm pretty sure they're okay. They've got the 0-calorie. The Jordan part is throwing me off. Is that the name? I just heard it called skinny syrup, but I'm pretty sure those are approved. Michelle. Approved beverages, anything 0-calorie is fine. None of it takes the place of your water, though. Always get your water in first. Let's look at some of these cheeses here. These cheeses, all fat-free cheeses work fine as a category 1 lean protein. This one right here, see this Cabot Extra Light cheese? This is a category 4 protein plus fat. So you just want to make sure that you used it appropriately. You can use up to 50 calories of it as a condiment. But let's say that you're making that approved grilled cheese sandwich and you want to use the Cabot Extra Light cheese. Just make sure for sure you're having that with a category 2 and you're not putting any 3s or 5s with it, because you would be using more cheese than just 50 calories worth of condiments if you're using it as your protein plus fat. Lean protein milk. Okay, this is a very important category if you're a milk drinker. I'm not a milk drinker, but I do utilize this milk when I'm making recipes now. So fat-free Fairlife milk, Kroger Carb Master milk. So 8 ounces if you're using it as a component of a meal, because it is category 1 lean protein. If you're just drinking it as your meal, you can do up to 16 ounces of this. Understanding why this milk works is important. These milks are fat-free, but they also have been fortified with protein. So this is very helpful. We need it to be fortified with protein. See, whole milk is a bad combo, fat and sugar. That's what's in whole milk. 2% milk, it's really still just a little less of something, but it's still sugar and fat. And skim milk is not really that great either, okay? So there's no fat in it, but it's still sugar. These don't have fat and they're fortified with protein. So if you're a cereal eater, you want to make sure that you familiarize yourself with this milk. Chocolate milk, the Kroger Carb Master chocolate works just fine. The fat-free Fairlife 2% milk works as a category 4 protein plus fat. But yes, those milks would be fine. Just use and find the right one, Connie. Okay, we've got some breading. Who likes to make some biscuits? Who likes cornbread? Who likes to maybe put a little bit of breading on some okra and air fry it? There's lots of things that we can do. Coconut flour works. Carb Quick. Carb Quick is like the shibboleth version of Bisquick. We would use Carb Quick. Bob's TVP. TVP stands for textured vegetable protein, that is a soy product, almond flour. So all of those are category 2 fibrous carbs. So you can make approved category 2 fibrous carb biscuits. You can make category 2 pancakes. You can flour up some okra, air fry it. It's going to be delicious. So these are category 2 things that you can use that help make your meals yummy. Cereals, 1 cup up to 1.5 cups. Now, this is a small little list, and I am going to pop over into the food library and show you something about cereals in just a second. But Kashi Go Lean Original, K's Natural Cereal, and High-Low Nutritious Living are good options. I'm not going to read the condiments because we've already talked about those, and I'm not going to read all these recipes. Restaurants, because I want you to familiarize yourself with the restaurant guide. And we do that in the fast track laps that I send you through a little activity for that. But what I want you to know about restaurants is go to the restaurant guide and then click on the restaurants that you frequent the most often. Those are the important ones to look at. Then look and see what meals are listed that you could order. Then click on it. And Kim Shibboleth has written in there exactly how you should order that item. That is important information, and it's all done for you. So make sure that you do that. But really, it's important to familiarize yourself with these restaurants so that you can save yourself at a lunch situation where you forgot your lunch. Or maybe you're on the way home and you've picked up the kids and they are hollering and screaming in the car. Or you've had a road rage episode on the way home from work, or something has happened and you've had a perfect day so far. Dang it, run by Chick-fil-A or wherever, McDonald's, we've got approved McDonald's. Run by and know how to order at one of those places and be so happy with yourself that you know how to deal with eating even when things might not be going right. Okay, so familiarize yourself with the restaurants. And then I'm going to pop over in a Facebook real quick. I'm going to go to the new member fast track group. If my notifications would quit popping up. Let's see. Jennifer made pancakes with Carb Quick and I used sugar-free syrup. It was delicious. Everyone in the house ate them and they didn't even know they were good for them. Awesome, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. I'm in a group called Shibboleth New Member Fast Track. You'll be able to get in this group. You're going to be working your way through the fast track laps, and getting into this group is one of those tasks. So I'm going to search right there using the search. Favorite meal replacement. I'm looking for a post that I did a little while back that has my 10 favorite meal replacements that you might want to get started with, and at least have looked at that. A lot of posting goes on in these groups. That's why that search feature is so great. If you're a coffee drinker and you want to know some different ways to drink coffee, go into the silver level group and use that search feature and search for coffee. And then just start reading all the different ways that people do coffee. And that'll help you think of new ways to do coffee. These are my 10 favorite meal replacements. And so you can just have a look at those and kind of get started with meal replacements, because it's good to have a few meal replacements picked out, because not all of us cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. We need to have some quick and easy at times. Okay. And this is where you can buy them if you're shopping online, if you want to get them there. So I'm going to go over into the fast track real quick. And not the fast track. I'm going into the food library. I'm going to click on this green tab and I'm going to click on food library because I want to show you something about cereals and talk about that milk a little bit. Do you see right here where it says phase 1 and phase 2 cereal? I want you to know that don't get confused by phase 1 and phase 2 or anything like that, because all that means is phase 1 is the best of the best foods. Phase 2 is giving us variety. Nobody would ever say that Captain Crunch is the best of the best foods, but it's in the lifestyle. It's just listed out in phase 2. Gives you more variety. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you eat it, but if you wanted it, you could. So, and you could stay and you could remain approved. I mean, a perfect day. That's what's important to know. Let me click on phase one cereal. If you eat phase one cereal, excuse me, if you want the best of the best cereal, here you go. These little numbers right here are the weight loss meter. The weight loss meter goes from a -3 to a +3. The negative numbers are better for weight loss. So here's some of the best cereals. But look, even a phase one cereal, this 0 is not going to help you, not going to hurt you. I would want some more negative numbers myself in weight loss to try to really get my best results. Like Kashi Go Lean Original, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter. But we sell this cinnamon crisp cereal in the store. It's a -3. And I just bought it for the first time recently. It's delicious. I love it. There's Special K protein cereal. You can buy that in the grocery store, but it's a 0 on the weight loss meter. Okay. So you just want to kind of have looked at these things. This high-low nutritious living, they are in regular grocery stores. So, and they're -2s. So you can do that. I'm actually going to heart that, meaning I like it. Okay. So if you are having a phase one cereal and you're an almond milk drinker, it needs to be unsweetened almond milk, and you could do that with a phase one cereal only. But let's go over here, and you can have all the other, approved milks with this too, but sometimes I get asked about almond milk, so I just wanted to explain that. I'm going to click over into phase two cereal. It's going to take just a second longer to generate that list because it's a much longer list. Yes, Maria. Maria just asked, so a negative number is better than 0? Yes. Your negative numbers are better for weight loss. 0, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. The positive numbers are really best for maintenance, but if you have one occasionally in weight loss, it's not going to hurt you. But if you're having every single meal every single day of all positive numbers, most whole foods aren't positive numbers anyway, y'all. But look, see all these 0, 0, 0, 0. So this just means that cereals aren't that great for you. There's chocolate peanut butter Cheerios. It's a 1. That's going away from being the greatest for weight loss. But I come over here into this to show you that if you are eating one of these types of approved cereals, then it must be with this kind of milk, because those cereals are still starchy and they need no fat and they need protein to offset them. So that's why you would want to really know about those milks and what you like to have together. So I hope this has helped. I hope this has helped a whole bunch. I showed you in the beginning in the fast track where you can mark off that you've done this webinar now. And I do truly hope that as you're working your way through the fast track laps that you understand. You're welcome, Kathy. Thank you for being with me again tonight. Thank you. I do hope that you understand that you should complete every lap of fast track, every task in every lap of fast track, because we recognize you for passing that test early and giving that badge. We give that badge to you early, but that is so that your website opens up to you so that you can do the rest of the laps. So don't think you're finished after you've earned that badge. You're really not finished with fast track until every check box is checked and all laps are done. Connie is asking, do you have to complete 1 lap per day? You do not have to complete 1 lap per day. Good night, Michelle. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Robin. Thank you for being here. Robin, I have challenged Robin to get that done, haven't I? And she's here. So thank you, Robin. I love it. So Connie, back to your question. The laps were sort of designed in 7 to mean 1 lap per day for 7 days, and you should be all good to go. But if you're super excited and you're moving through these things, you can do more than 1 lap per day. That doesn't matter. I just kind of broke them up that way so people wouldn't feel overwhelmed. So if you're moving ahead, that's fine. But also, let's say that something happens and you take 2 weeks to get the 7 laps done. That's fine too. You just want to get it done and you just kind of want to set a goal for yourself to, hey, let me have this finished in 7 days. So it's just kind of designed that way that you do what makes you feel comfortable. And you could do more than one lap a day. If you're moving right along, that's good. But I hope that helps. Michelle, would PB2 be considered powdered peanut butter? I think it is. Let's go here and find it. I love to find stuff in the website. If anybody needs to hop off, I totally understand. I'm going to go over to the food library with Michelle and find that. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. And please, if you want to pop over into fast track laps, some of those things in the first lap, if you haven't finished them, are super easy. They're just getting into the Facebook groups and stuff. All right. So Michelle, we're going to go to food library. You're welcome, Tammy. And I'm going to type in peanut. Well, so you can see I've typed it in before. Peanut butter, and I'm going to hit search. And it should pull up the peanut butters. Look at all these peanut butters that are approved. I got to click show more. Okay, I know PB2's here. I just want us to look at it. PB2. Okay, so PB2 peanut butter powder. Is that what you use, the powder, Michelle? Do you use the PB2? Okay, let's see. I wonder if these are the same thing, just written differently. Jennifer, let's see what Jennifer. I've been watching the videos and reading on the website, and I have been applying it to my food. And I was on spring break with my kids at the lake, and when I got home, I was already down 2.9 pounds. Awesome, Jennifer. Awesome. That's fabulous. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's fun. That's fun. It shows you that you can do it and lose weight even on vacation if you apply the info. So let me just click on one of these. Peanut butter powder. Is that what it looks like, Michelle? So it's a superfood. So you can use it as a superfood. It's a condiment. So see right here, when you're looking at these, it's showing you it's 3 different types of things you can use it as. Superfood, condiment, or a snack. And so what it says right here, I love those hallelujah hands, Maria. 2 tablespoons would be a snack, or 4 tablespoons as a meal. Wow. If you're looking for quantity of peanut butter, this might be a good one because most other peanut butters are 2 for a meal and 1 for a snack. This is why it's very important to not apply too many super generalized rules because each food is made differently. And we've looked at that and we've put this here for you to use. Okay. And then I always scroll down. Do you see right here? Look at this. This is important. As a snack, this is a 0 on the weight loss meter. Let me go back up here. Look, do you see how that's a -1 on the weight loss meter? That's if you're using it as a meal. Anything that then gets used as a snack, it changes the weight loss meter. The weight loss meter changes on how you're using that item. That's really cool because that can help you make better decisions. As a snack, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter, but you can have it. As a meal, it's a -1 on the weight loss meter. And used as a condiment, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter. I'm going to go back over and look at that other PB2 and see if it's different. We might have duplicate things in here because it might have been just worded differently. Let's see, Jennifer. Yes, I even had a hamburger with condiments and approved snacks. It felt like a holiday, but it was a perfect day. I love that you're saying that. Maria, it would be better as a meal. Yes. Jennifer, when if y'all want to hang on here, I'll show y'all something and I'll tell you a story. There is a PB2 fit that's different, I think. Let's see. There's a PB2 fit right there. Let's see what it says. Okay, so it's a 6, a condiment, and gluten-free. So 1 tablespoon is a condiment. So it's got about the same Okay, so it's about the same. Okay. I still am curious about going back and looking at that possible duplicate. Okay. Yeah, I think we could probably take this one out, but it's got some extra. Uh, I might have to question Kim on that just so she'll know. Okay. So, oh my, I'm going to go to my timing chart from the very beginning of Shibboleth. No one that is starting Shibboleth now should look at my timing chart because I'm in maintenance. So that's why I'm going back to my first. I just had my 2-year Shibboleth anniversary. Okay. Oh no, Scarlett, definitely not. The oils that we use, those are approved oils for cooking, no matter how you cook, like pot or pan or grill, using for recipes and making salad dressings with them, but never feel like you need to get oil in like a supplement or anything like that. We don't use it as a supplement. We don't put it in bulletproof coffee. We don't add it to shakes and stuff. Okay. You just use it for cooking and making salad dressings and recipes, but you never feel like you need to get it in every day or anything like that. It's just for cooking purposes. So this was my very first perfect day ever. And then I had 2 perfect days, and that got me into what we call EFB. EFB is efficient fat burning. So I was in efficient fat burning this day and all of those days. And then this was Easter. So I had holiday. Well, I had a perfect day there. And over this weekend, I had watched some videos about intermittent fasting and I learned about that. So that's what that little thing is. That's about intermittent fasting. And then I got back into efficient fat burning here. That little thing right there means I did a WOW challenge. And you're going to learn about WOW challenges in the fast track laps. And then this little thing means I was in EFB and did intermittent fasting. See, the intermittent fasting you'll learn about in the gold level daily doses. That's an advanced topic. Okay. You don't have to do it now. Okay. So here I go. I get back into my efficient fat burning days. Now let me scoot over to May. So in May, I knew that I wanted to go to a wedding and I needed holidays right there. So that's what those were. These are all perfect days. These are all perfect days. I had holiday. And then right here, I had an intermittent fasting day. And you're going to learn that intermittent fasting days can help you get back into efficient fat burning faster, but that's not our focus in fast track. You can do that later if you choose to. Let's look at June. Look at June. I did not have one holiday. Not one. The food that we're eating is good. It's regular food from the grocery store. I needed to be eating more appropriately anyway, so I didn't have any. So let's come over to July. And the reason I'm telling this story is because of what Jennifer said. We got to July 4th right here. And I hadn't had holidays in a long time. And I thought, July 4th, that'll be a good day. That'll be a good day for a holiday. I'm going to have a holiday. Well, I thought, what am I going to eat? I'm going to have a hamburger. I can have an approved hamburger. I thought I can have, anyway, anything that I thought I can do in an approved way. So what I did on this day, because I had been eating all of those, just 3 meals. I mean, like 3 meals a day. I really wasn't doing a lot of freebies or extras. I might have had one every so often, but it was rare. On this day right here, I had a freebie, an extra, and a snack. It felt like a holiday, but it was approved. It was all approved because I hadn't been having all of those all along. That felt like a holiday, but it wasn't. So Maria, how do you know you've had a perfect day? That's an awesome question. Let me finish this real quick and I'll show you. So I had all these, and then I actually had gotten to my goal weight somewhere in here this month because I wanted to lose 35 pounds. I did that. And then, but I was kind of afraid, be honest with you. I was kind of afraid to go back to holidays thinking, oh man, I'm going to like spiral out of control or something. But so I didn't. I just continued on with perfect days because they were working for me and I was liking them. But over into August, I decided to, if I was going to be helping people, that was also when I started working with Shibboleth in July of that year. And I said, if I'm really going to be helping people, I need to know how it feels to have holidays and come back after a holiday to my perfect days and stuff. And so I started sprinkling in my holidays. In maintenance, in maintenance, I lost another 15 pounds. So I lost 50 pounds in about 5 months. Okay, Maria. Now, those of you that need to go, I totally understand. Maria, I think you told me earlier that you didn't watch last night's video because that's what last night's video is on. So you have a perfect day. I'm gonna briefly tell you. By following the Shibboleth shield, there's 5 components to the shield. One is your water. So you've got to get at least 64 ounces of water. 2 is journaling. You write down what you eat. 3 is eating in the right combinations, which is what we went over tonight. 4 is portion control, using your 2 hands to measure and not more than what fits under your 2 hands and not thicker than the thickest part of your hand. And 5 is timing, meaning giving yourself a break between meals, no more than 3 meals in a day. And then if you have a moment of mental weakness, you can use freebies, an extra, or a snack. So that's the brief version, Maria, but please go back right here. I'm going to show you where to find it. Go back right here into the fast track laps and watch the video because I go into more detail than just the little quick version I did just then. But meeting those components means you've had a perfect day. And I declare that I'm having a perfect day in the mornings. And that's what I plan on doing. So when I journal, do I put a flame day? Okay, so that is a great question. So Maria, watch this video right here to go over all of the details of that. But let's go into your journal right here. And what you're going to do each day, see right here, you're going to click on that. Do you see all those different types of days? Ignore them. Those are advanced lessons. We're only going to focus on perfect day or holiday, perfect day or holiday. So if you know that you're going to meet all 5 of those components in a day, go ahead and mark perfect. Mark it early. Set your mindset that you're going to have a perfect day. So mark perfect and then hit save. So and I'm going to save and go to weekly timing chart because I want to show you. So when I marked that I was having a perfect day, let me go back to, I got to go back to the other. So right here, when I marked that I was having a perfect day, the computer system generated that check. So in this next day, when I marked that I was having a perfect day, the system generated this check. On this day, when I marked that I was having a perfect day, the system generated this flame because it now knows that you've had 2 perfect days and now you are in EFB. And then when I marked perfect here, it generated the flame. So you can see what I'm saying. So based on whether or not you mark perfect or holiday, the system generates your icon for you. And then right here, I marked holiday. Yeah, good. And then right here, I marked perfect day, but it knew that it was after a holiday. Then right there, I marked intermittent fasting day. And then this is an EFB day, but I also did a WOW challenge and stuff. So anyway, it can get multiple ones on there if you do multiple things. But please, whatever you do, y'all work your way through the fast track laps because the most successful people in this have done every step in every lap of Fast Track. Scarlett, how many slices of boar's head lean meat? Oh, so I would just, I don't know about it in slices, okay? I just put it on there and use it. I'm just, but if you are a measurer, I would just kind of in general look at how many ounces are in there and what a serving is. But this is something that if I was going to measure it, I would weigh it because I would utilize my full amount of protein because protein keeps us full. So I'd utilize six to 8 ounces. It seems like a lot too. So in the deli meat, you might want to do 5, okay? But what you might want to do is look at how much comes in a container and then divide it up. Jennifer, I bought a food scale. They're at $15 at Walmart in the cookware section. Yes. Yeah, a food scale is great. Yeah. So, but to answer your question, 6 to 8 ounces is how much you could have. If ladies, it'd be really best if we stuck with 6. Men can go up to 8. That's where where that range is coming from. But I know that one day, just out of curiosity, Scarlett, I measured some and it was so much meat. It was crazy how much meat it was. And I thought, oh dang, I don't need that much. So I've not really been a measurer, but out of curiosity, I did one day because I got myself a Pampered Chef scale and it was digital and it was really cool. And I thought, let me measure this. And um it was a lot of meat and I thought, no, I don't need that much. So that's where I started looking at like how many servings come in a package. And then it's kind of hard sometimes to measure, especially if they've cut real thin slices. That's when it's kind of hard to say a slice because sometimes they're so thin, they're kind of flaking apart. And then you go for the what it measures on the scale. All right. I have loved talking with y'all tonight. If you haven't liked the Shibboleth public page on Facebook, please like that page. I go there live Monday through Friday every morning with a devotion. It's kind of a time for daily devotion and morning motivation. Tomorrow night, we are having a What is Shibboleth webinar, and I have already put that link in the Shibboleth public page. Please register, but more importantly, since you're already a member, invite your non-Shibboleth member friends to come and hear about it too. That would be awesome. You're welcome, Scarlett. Let's see. Jennifer is 16 ounces from a gallon of water. Yay, that is awesome. It has helped so much with anxiety. Awesome. Acid reflux and migraines. Wonderful. Thank you for telling us that, Jennifer. Water is so wonderful and healing in so many different ways. Good night, Maria. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me.